He's Chase Sr. I am Harrison Graham. Welcome into the Chiefs Report as we record live here on NFL Daily by Chat Sports. Tyreek Hill replacements for the Kansas City Chiefs after the Chiefs shockingly traded Hill on Wednesday. If you missed it, here were the trade details as the Chiefs received the number 29 overall pick, the number 50 pick, a fourth, and then a fourth and sixth next year in return for Tyreek Hill. So I've cooked up 10 players that the Chiefs could either trade for, draft, or sign to replace Tyreek Hill. And let me just say this right off the top. The production he's given you through 6 seasons of 6,600 yards, 56 touchdowns, almost 500 catches, you ain't replacing that with one player. So we should just mention that right off the bat. But that doesn't mean you can't go get a player that can help you and help this wide receiver core. One player is not going to do that. But you signed Marquez Valdes-Scantling, which we should mention as well. But I don't think he's your Tyreek Hill replacement. So I'm going to cook up 10 new guys that could help you at least attempt to replace Tyreek Hill, a player who I don't think is really all that replaceable. How do you guys feel about the Tyreek Hill trade? Type L for like it, type H for hate it. 1 day, 2 days later, how do you guys feel about it at this point in time? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. All right, Chase, let's go through 10 guys that I cooked up here. We'll bounce back and forth a little bit here, go from 1 to 10. At number 1, DK Metcalf. There's been some conflicting reports about potential interest from Kansas City. Real quick, how would you feel about Metcalf in this offense?
He's a modern-day Terrell Owens, in my opinion. Just a physical freak who can get up and down the field vertically, but also run a variety of routes underneath. You want to throw him a bubble screen? You can do that too, and he'll take it to the crib. A physically imposing wide receiver who at some point soon is going to get paid, which is why it might not make a lot of sense to go to KC because they didn't pay Tyreek Hill. Would they pay DK Metcalf? We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it would be strange to do that. I guess the reasoning would be is he's a few years younger. He probably won't cost $30 million a year, but he's going to cost at least 20 plus, you would think, on a new deal. I like DK Metcalf. I think his skill set would fit this offense very well. I think that's probably as good of a recovery as you could pull off if you brought in a guy like DK Metcalf after trading away Tyreek Hill. How much would you pay for Metcalf, not only in money per year, but in a trade as well? Chiefs Kingdom, answer it in the comment section for us. How much would you give up for DK Metcalf? At number 2, got to go with an internal guy. Stylistically, Mecole Hardman's the closest thing you got to Tyreek Hill, even more so than Valdes-Scantling, who's primarily just been a deep ball threat, as the Chiefs were able to sign him earlier on Thursday. Hardman's got some speed. He's flashed some potential. I don't think he's Tyreek Hill, but he is a player that, has some big playability, Chase. We've seen him flash in the past.
Yeah, like if you were to put on his highlight tape, you'd say, oh my gosh, Hardman is stupid. He has crazy talent. This guy could take over the league. But it's some of the little things that he doesn't do and some of the mistakes that he does make, which is why I'd rather go elsewhere for a Tyreek Hill replacement. I really like him as a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, but maybe Brett Veach and Andy Reid believe, hey, with the speed element to his game, can do a lot of the same things as the Cheetah.
Well, speed, that's Jameson Williams'
Yes,
name of the game. Sure, torn ACL, but I don't really have concerns that the speed will return. It's just a matter of when he'll be healthy. Maybe he doesn't play in week 1. But obviously it would be a long-term investment if you were to draft him in round 1 with that number 29 or number 30 overall pick. I've said it before and I've said it again. There's only one Tyreek Hill. This guy might be the closest to it, though, at least in this draft. Electric speed, shifty. He's not as powerful as Hill. That's the thing that people don't realize about Tyreek. He's 185 pounds at his size. I mean, he's pretty bulky for just being 5'9", 5'10". Williams isn't that bulky, but he is electric, and I think he could fit in well. Odell Beckham, I think, would fit in well, too. The problem for him is the ACL tear, which came later than Williams, and there's been some chatter, Chase, that he may not be ready until November.
Yeah, which is a big concern for Kansas City to start the year. But if you get him back, let's say October and November, and he plays like he did with the Los Angeles Rams, with the Kansas City Chiefs, he could be a great addition. I still think he can play. I never thought that, he was washed while with the Cleveland Browns, had some concerns about losing a step just a bit, the drama, as well as his play alongside Baker Mayfield. But OBJ, He's a baller, man, and he could change this offense in a hurry.
Tyler Lockett, there's been rumors that Seattle could trade him. Now, let me just clarify, because some people don't seem to understand this, that Seattle can't actually trade Lockett until June 1st. And I actually don't know the rules. Can you designate a post-June 1st trade? Even if you can, it would have to be a post-June 1st type of trade, because if they trade him before then, they lose more money than it costs to just keep him as a dead cap hit. Doesn't make sense for Seattle. But if Seattle doesn't land a quarterback and they feel like this is a transition year, they want to get some draft capital for future drafts back, then you could trade Tyler Lockett. And maybe the Chiefs could add him before training camp, which would be pretty interesting. Lockett, along with Juju, Hardman, and Valdez-Scantling, that'd be a pretty good recovery. It's no Tyreek Hill, but again, there's only one Tyreek Hill at the end of the day. There's 5 guys. We'll take a look at 5 more, but first, Patrick Mahomes, he's looking for a new weapon, but if you want to rep his jersey, you can do so at chatsports.com/MahomesRed. That link will be in the comments and in the description of this video. Click and shop today. Pick one up, chatsports.com/MahomesRed, these brand new Nike Patrick Mahomes jerseys. At number 6, how about this one, Chase? Marquise Brown as Bill Barnwell of ESPN just kind of threw this out there, and I thought it was interesting. I wonder if the Chiefs call the Ravens about Marquise Brown. Now, Lamar Jackson quote tweeted this and basically said, no freaking way. But, hey, speed, similar stylistic play, he's I don't want to say close-ish, but in the ballpark of a similar type of player of Tyreek Hill.
The drops last year were really problematic,
they were bad.
but this is what Lamar said, and I thought it was awesome. Excuse my French real quick, sir, but hell no. That's awesome stuff. He's sticking up for his teammate, and a guy who he knows when he's right, when he's not dropping the football, in critical spots, on dimes
Was it
from
that
Lamar.
Lions game he dropped 3 touchdowns?
Yes, but then there were other times throughout the year, not just that
Yeah.
down game in which he dropped a lot of big balls. Marquise Brown has a speed element to his game, though. I just think the Ravens continue to build around him and Lamar Jackson.
Go to another draft guy, a different stylistic player, but a guy who can do a little bit of everything. Treylon Burks, who you and I both really like. He's obviously not the flat-out speedster that Tyreek Hill is, but you can put him at running back a bit, which is something the Chiefs did with Tyreek Hill early in his career. Good receiver, powerful. I would be intrigued with him if he fell to 29. I don't think he will. But with 2 first-round picks, you could trade up and go get them.
I think this is the thinking for Brett Veach in Kansas City and that front office. Look, we have 2 first-round picks now. So we can go Treylon Burks if he falls. We can also go with the number 8 option here in Jahan Dotson. Different players, both dynamic for different reasons. Yep. Treylon Burks, a bigger, more physically imposing wide receiver who has that getaway speed after the catch and can high point the football like a DeAndre Hopkins. Jahan Dotson, He's not KJ Hamler, his former teammate, in terms of that speed, but man, he's a vertical threat, and I actually like what he can do underneath operating out of that slot and outside.
Which wide receiver draft prospect do you guys like the most, especially for the Chiefs as you try to replace Tyreek Hill? I think it's Jameson Williams for me, but there's some other guys as well. Let us know. Curious what you think. Couple more names. These are just kind of more receiver options, not really, number 1 type of guys. And a lot of these guys aren't. But Julio Jones, look, a name worth mentioning. He's out there. I'm intrigued by him as a player still. I do wonder if he's cooked. When he's healthy, I still think he can be a number 2 type. He's not going to come in and be a number 1. But if the money's right, and if he wants to come in and prove himself and reset the latter stages of his career, I would take a chance here, especially if you strike out on a couple other options. I think he's a name to monitor. And then at number 10, Jordan Schultz reported that the Chiefs have already expressed interest in trading for Laviska Shenault. The Jags are open to doing so as they spent a lot of money at receiver in free agency with Zay Jones and Christian Kirk. Here was Schultz's report saying that the Chiefs have shown interest and that a head coach has told him that kid's a baller and that it's only a matter of time before he pops. I do think the Chiefs' offensive staff, Chase, with how creative they are, could really utilize a guy like Shenault. Again, not Tyreek Hill, but you trade a 4th or a 5th round pick for him and, he comes in here and he does a little bit of everything for you.
Yeah, no, really intriguing option. I think, all 10 guys that you kind of broke down and put together as the host of the Kansas City Chiefs report, like all of them are somewhat attainable to a certain degree.
Yep.
You put them in this offense, I think they'll be able to really succeed, especially with the complementary weapons around them and the play caller that is Andy Reid / maybe Eric Bieniemy as that mystery continues.
The drama continues.
But they need to replace him. And is it going to be LaVisca? Is it going to be a combination of draftees? Is it going to be a Julio Jones? Fascinating to see how they fulfill that void.
Who should the Chiefs add to replace Tyreek Hill? And if your answer is Marquez Valdes-Scantling, I hope you want more because he's not going to do it alone. Let us know in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe to the Chiefs Report, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. When they make moves, I got you covered with the latest Chiefs news, rumors, and free agency buzz. And, of course, NFL Draft. I'll do a new mock draft following the Hill trade to 12 draft picks Brett Veach has this year. Check it out, youtube.com/ChiefsTV.